Chances are you know someone that lives or works in a stressful and cluttered environment. Producer Pete. Let's see how we can solve both of those problems. Welcome Markel Horner with Simply Stressless to the table.
Hey.
Hi Markel, it's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And isn't this the best time of year? Everybody's just feeling like,
Ready to let go.
just
Totally.
Yeah.
it's
I came
like
spring
spring
clean.
cleaning
Yeah.
Phil.
Totally. I came across yours because I was following Marky, and Marky had you just in an event.
Now,
And
Marky from In Bold and You that
yes,
we just had
that we
on
just had.
last month, Kate.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I saw your post, and I was like, geez, I feel like that connects in so many ways. So tell us a little bit about you and then what you're doing.
Sure. So I'm Markel, and I'm a professional organizer and a life coach. And I have 3 beautiful little girls at home. And after I had my first baby, I was like, how does anybody do this? How does anybody work a job and keep a clean house and spend quality time together? And I just felt super overwhelmed by just life, you know.
Yeah.
Well, and if you have 3 girls,
yeah,
you're gonna have
oh, it's busy.
clutter if you
Yeah.
don't know how to rein it in.
Yeah,
Right.
Bows
Yep.
and socks and shoes and Barbies.
All the things.
all of it. Yeah.
So were you already a professional organizer prior to the girls?
No, I was not. So after I had my first baby, I was like, I'm so overwhelmed. I need to figure out and learn skills to just
Gotcha.
handle my life. And so I did research and first started out just reading books and, you know, on Pinterest, how do I hack my life? Because this is really hard. And I found NAPO, which is the National Association of Productivity and Organizing. And I was like,
Wow.
That word.
Yeah.
I like how close it is to NATO.
Right?
NAPO.
NAPO.
yeah.
Okay.
And so I found them and I was like, I'm going to take classes and courses and got certifications. And I worked for a professional organizing company up in Salt Lake. And we would have clients call us back after 6 months and say, I really need a refresher. Like, I really need you to come back to my house and just redo kind of everything that I've done. And the more that I thought about it, I was like, people need skills. Like, they don't need somebody to come in and do the entire house for them. They need to know
Teach some principles and things that they can apply.
exactly. They need to know how to bob and weave with the changes and the different phases that we enter in our life, you know, because if you have teenagers or if you have young babies, you're
Even
going
in
to be
the
running your
different
house
seasons,
differently, right?
I go from winter and I'm like, get the snow clothes out of here, you know.
And then summer, bring on all the
Different-
sunscreen
Yep.
and the pool bag.
Yeah.
Even different seasons do that.
And sometimes I start to filter them into different spaces, and I was like, okay, I need to contain them all. Like, I had medicine in one cabinet in my kitchen, some in my pantry, and then some upstairs. And I was like,
Yeah.
Angie, just go put that all in the same place, right?
Yep.
I think the neat thing about an organizer coming in and doing it is you just do what you've always done. Mm-hmm. So if someone comes in, like if my daughter's over, when we moved into her house, Angie and her daughter was there helping me get my kitchen set up, and just hearing different people's opinions, like, wow.
Like, I didn't think of that.
I've always done this, but I can see why your way really might work.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's a lot of what I do is, I think to a certain point you do need to set up structure for people, but also you need to know how their life flows and how their family flows, because you can look at, you know, all of these people that, you know, color code and rainbow everything, and it looks so pretty, but are you the type of person that's going to do that with your Legos? You know, are you going to sit down and be like, here are all the red ones and the yellow ones? I don't have time for that.
I just need
That's
one bin to throw them in.
Yes, exactly. Right? Yeah, but some people love being able to see that, and so that's a lot of what I do is talking with people and figuring out how they flow and
more
how their
custom.
family
Yes.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's important.
So got to figure out how to work with, you don't want to work against people's natural tendencies too much, you know?
Right.
that
I know. I
doesn't-
love part of your thing is like to find the peace.
Yeah.
Because I think organization does do that.
Totally.
Like when I can go and find the kids' soccer stuff and it's in the same place every time,
Yeah.
that brings peace to me.
Yeah.
Peace to the child.
Yeah, 'cause
so
you know exactly
part of
where it is.
organizing.
Is it
I
super
think,
important though to be able to have a place for everything? What about a lot of people living in a space that, quite frankly, maybe just feel like it's too small for their family, but they can't move, so they're squished, and that's why it's disorganized.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to those people?
Okay, so I say I see you. I just barely moved from a basement apartment with my little family of 5, like less than 1,300 square feet. And so that was a lot of people in a very small space. And one thing that I noticed is when people would just focus in on the organization, they were missing steps before that were really important, which were like, you need to minimize first, and you need to come up with a plan first. So yeah, the organization is really important. But even before you start organizing, you need to get things out of your life that you don't use or really don't bring you joy or make you happy. And then it makes it a lot easier to really organize your home and use your space with things that you love and that you use.
Gotcha.
My daughter's a lot like that too, and she's told me, like, I'll say my closet is just packed and a mess. I need you to come go through it with me again. And she's like, what brings you joy, right? Like, we go through that. And so I feel like I've really like taken it out, still too full. I go to her home and it is very minimal. Like there is, she's like, but I don't wear 40 shirts, right?
Yeah.
I love these 10.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping those 10.
Yeah, well, and when you look at some of the statistics and how we've changed the way that we consume, back in, I think, 1930, the average woman owned 9 outfits, and today it's 30 outfits. So we have an outfit for almost every single day of the week.
That is ridiculous,
Yeah.
isn't it?
The whole month.
When
if
it's
we have
like
30.
that, they maybe had like a nice outfit and then a work outfit, you know.
Sure.
So yeah, I think the more
That's
you
what
have,
marketing's
then
done
the
to
more,
us.
yeah.
Yeah, and I
more
don't
clutter.
ever. I mean, if people love their clothes, I encourage them. You keep what you want and what brings you joy, right? I am a book hoarder. Like, you could not get me to get rid of my books
Give me
because
time. I'm right there with you.
yes, I am like, I love
And
writing
Amazon
notes
is
and
so quick.
yep,
Like,
brings you there.
it's here. Oh, just right. And then I start, I'm gonna write.
Yeah.
So make a cool shelf
Yeah.
with all those books.
Yeah, so yeah, whenever I work with people, I never make them get rid of things. My job is to just ask a lot of questions about, you know, what's important to you and what do you want? How does your home flow? And so we come up with plans together to make them feel organized enough in their space where they can feel peaceful. And it looks different.
So show us some of these things that you have here. This
Sure.
is interesting.
Yeah, so I know that a lot of people get really stuck with like, I need the perfect product for this one space, and there's so many options out there. I personally am really simple, and I like to keep it simple, and so I've done almost my entire home with 2 different products in different sizes from the Container Store that you can buy in bulk. So I have a closet where I just keep everything, and then I pull out what I need. Anyway,
I love that concept.
yeah, so this is one of them. This is the multi-purpose bin from the Container Store, and they have different sizes that are wider and thinner. But like, for example, in my wrapping area, I have like ones for birthday, and then plain bags, and then pattern bags, and then I'll use a bin like this for like colored, I can even pull it out, colored tissue paper and white tissue paper and ribbons, and then they can all stack on top of each other.
Love that.
So yeah, these are all things that I just pulled. This is from the toy room, and then all of these are in the toy room. They're clear, so my girls can see and they know immediately, because they
What's
can't
in
really
there?
read yet, but they're like, I want the blocks, you know. And then the thing that's so cool about these is that they're modular, right? So they all stack on top of
Stack.
each other, so you can use that vertical space, which is something that
so
people don't.
important.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
Too many
You
times we
forget
do
about
like
it.
a cute basket, but then there's all this empty space that
Yep.
we're not being able
Wasted.
to use.
Yeah. So those are basically the 2 products that I've used to do
That's really brilliant.
my
Really
entire
love
house,
that.
because I need to keep it really simple.
And I
for
love
myself.
Yeah,
that.
you're
Lego
even
maker.
simplifying the way you organize.
I don't need to make it complicated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel overwhelmed sometimes when I go to those stores and I'm like, okay, I need a box.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's 40 different boxes to choose from, and then I usually go home without.
Yeah.
Because I'm just overwhelmed with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you ever have people that are like, my pantry needs help?
Yeah.
And you do pantry stuff too? 'Cause
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, so I have like a workbook that goes through every area of your home, and it follows my specific 4-step process, which is prioritize, minimize, organize, and normalize. So we'll follow, so like for a pantry, for example, I would come in with you in your home and we would talk about, you know, what is working in your pantry, what do you love, what doesn't work, and that's the prioritize step. Let's create a vision. And then there's the minimize step of get things out that you don't use, and let's bring in, you know, what you do want. And then the organizing step, we create a system that works for you together. And then the normalized step is creating daily habits of how can you keep your pantry functioning this way, you know? So
rotating products that
Yeah.
you use a lot rather than
yeah.
the random.
Yeah.
Creating a
Kind of-
system instead of you just coming in, making it pretty, and then walking out.
Yeah. Or are you the type of person that likes to decant? You know, do you go to the store and do you rip open a bag of crackers and do you pour it into another container? Are you that type of person, or are you like?
What percentage of people are really like that?
I do that.
My daughter does that.
know,
I
it's
do
a-
it on two things.
I have
my
containers.
weekends.
Okay.
Oh, you guys really do?
I do.
I have the
I'm thinking
stackable.
nobody does that.
Flour and sugar, I do, and like
Right.
wheat thins, like things that I really go through,
Yeah.
and it's easier to grab out of, like my rice. I put that in a big bin.
Yeah.
But
Wheat
But if
thins
you're
and
n-
crackers?
Yeah, I have a cracker container. Crackers and some pasta in those clear.
Yeah.
Like you buy a
Oh,
whole
we
kit
are
of
getting
them.
the guy telling us we're done. This is just getting good.
okay, so tell us how we can find you. What do you do? Classes, etc.
Sure. Yeah. So I do have some digital courses, and then I do one-on-one coaching with people inside their home. So it's like a 9-week course, and I come in once a week, and we work on your projects together in as many areas of your home as we can do in 9 weeks. And then I also speak at events or do 4-hour power sessions. So if somebody just wanted to do their pantry, I would give them my workbook pages for a pantry, and then I would come and work for 4 hours straight alongside them so that we could set it up the way that they want it. So
Wow.
And where can
Yeah.
we find you?
yeah, so I'm mostly on Instagram because once again I have to keep it simple.
Yes.
And I'm not a social media person, so I'm on Instagram at simply.stressless, and then my website is simply.stressless.live.
She's got a lot
thanks
of
for
awesome
joining
stuff.
us.
Yeah.
I think we'll need to have you back because in 3 months it'll all be messy again.
Oh yeah, and Stacy's gonna decant one thing.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that term, decant. I'm always learning something.
Right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.